Hi, I'm Becky, the Youth Minister from Grumo Benefice, and I'm going to look at our passage today. So today's passage comes from Luke, for chapter 8, verses 1 to 15. And this passage starts with Jesus in the middle of a crowd, and he's telling them a story. And the story he tells them is about a farmer who goes out to scatter his seed ready for the harvest. And as he throws his seed out, some of the seed land on a path, a bit like this. And because there's nowhere for them to grow, it gets trodden on, birds come and eat up the seed and it doesn't grow, goes nowhere. Some of the seeds will land on a stony path, a bit like these. And on the stony kind of patch, the seeds' roots grow a little bit. They go into shallow soil, but not deep. So as soon as it gets windy and weather or anything like that, actually it dies. It doesn't withstand anything. Some seeds landed on the thorns, like this one, and at first it grows, but as soon as it gets taller, it actually gets choked by all the thorns and shrivels up and dies. And then the last lot of seeds land on good soil, and they grow deep roots, and they produce a harvest. So Jesus tells this story, and then his disciples, his friends, say to him, "Well, Jesus, what's this story meant to mean? Like, what's it all about?" And Jesus goes on to explain that the path and the seed on the path is like people who hear God's word, but it goes nowhere. That actually it takes no hold on their lives, and their hearts are hard, and the devil will take that seed of faith away. It won't go anywhere. For some people, he said, is their faith will be like the seed that lands on the rock. That actually they'll hear about God and God's word, and they'll take it and accept it with joy and believe. But because their roots are shallow, actually, that any tests to their faith or any challenges in life, it doesn't withstand. If their faith doesn't withstand it, and it goes. The third example was a seed landing in thorns. And actually that's a bit like a person who, yes, they hear and accept God's word and their faith grows, but actually the worries of the world, pressures and distractions in the world actually takes their faith away from them. It's what's stronger than their faith. And then the last thing is good soil. And that is like the people who hear God's word, accept it, have deep roots in it, and will grow through in faith because of it. Now, the question that we have to ask, having heard that story, is where is our faith planted? Are we in good, healthy soil that's growing? Are we growing in our faith? Or maybe actually we're somewhere on one of these three. We know that life will be difficult, and we know there will be times of challenges. But we know if our faith is strong and our roots are deep, we can persevere and we'll make it through. The point of this parable isn't to make us feel bad to where we think our seed might be. It isn't here to make us think, well, I'm in the stones, life's difficult, and I'm not sure how deep my faith goes. It's not, and we should feel bad and there's no hope. That isn't the point of this story. The point of this story is that actually we all have times where our faith feels like it's not in good soil. And that means that is the time when we have to take action. If we aren't convinced that we can withstand pressures of this world or pressures of life, and our faith might suffer for it, then actually we need to take action of how we can make our faith grow. We can do that by praying, reading our Bible, reaching out to other Christians, asking God to help us in that, asking God to help us see what we need to let go of and things we need to do to help us grow our faith in him and become like the seed in good soil that can grow deep roots. God is a God of love and a God of compassion, and he doesn't want to see us left on the path or in the stones or the thorns. He wants us to have strong roots in him. My challenge for you this week is to ask the question, where is your faith planted? And how can you get your roots stronger and deeper in God?